Hi. All right. We had the NDK board meeting today, and so I have to put out the NDK board meeting notes. So that's why I'm like, I'm glad you've got something to do because I have a bunch of
You have notes to do.
I'm like sitting here going, well, why somebody's why is it nothing works like I want it to? Oh well. And where hey Sarge,
Hi,
just in
Sarge.
time to see us going to bed. See you going to bed. See you off for the night. I appreciate you hanging in there with us though. After this, I got another email to make, which is to the volunteers of IACON. Starting the bedtime routine. We'll keep you company for that, and then we'll let you off at Dreamland. So yeah, went in second quarter NDK meeting today, and all's pretty much okay. I mean, it's actually pretty straight up. It's amazing when you're in an organization that actually does all their meetings and all the things. We have these. Okay. Excellent. I'm looking forward to hearing it, Sarge. I love great news. So I'm always like, I just went there and kind of, I mean, it still was a 7-hour meeting, but it wasn't that hard. It was a nice, calm meeting.
Only some throwing of objects, screaming and yelling.
Yep.
You ruined my life.
I've got to figure out somebody who can read my scribbles.
Your squabble scribbles?
Like my like whatever thingy. I'm very irritated.
You're not being clear on what you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about my hang on. I'm just gonna have to stop for a second and think of the word because I can't. It's the green thing. roughs, my rough things.
Your rough things.
Yeah, the big green sheets that I have that are um,
Oh, your layouts?
layouts. Thank you. I don't know what the problem is with that. I can't think of that word. Layouts. Yeah, my layouts. Because I really, the ideal thing would be for me to send those layouts to somebody and then have them look it over and say it makes sense. My handwriting isn't horrible. I mean, it's not awesome, but it's not horrible. So you could read it. The question is whether anybody could, square away that or not.
I mean,
How did this end up this way? Hang on. I have a perpetual license. This makes me annoyed because I have a Clip Studio Paint one time purchase perpetual license. That's what I wanted to do. And now it's doing you can only do this for a few more times before you won't be able to change between computers anymore.
hey, Zaka.
Hey, Zeka. Oh, from Brazil. Layouts. Thank you, Cat. I'm having issues. Anyway, but the problem is, it takes me whenever I try to figure out what it's doing. There's no 2 device perpetual licenses. Like, there's no spot for it anywhere on the web page. It just says you have one perpetual use license, which covers one machine. And I'm like, okay, except that that's not what you said when I picked up the thing. When I bought it, it said it would be just the same as the version 1. Yeah, of course. I have it on my
Yeah, and
I
it's
have it
not.
running on my Surface. My little Surface. I don't use them at the same time. I mean, the Surface is whenever I'm at Starbucks, or like I was today when I was at the NDK board meeting for 7 hours. That's when I use my Surface and then draw on CSP. And I have version 2 on both of them. And I have a perpetual license. I bought the the full price version. And so, but it keeps doing you can only do this a number of times, switching back and forth, although it's never really told me I had a number of times left. So I don't know, just I guess it'll keep going until it doesn't. But there's no option anywhere to change it. The only option it seems to have is pay another $150 and buy another license. Well, I'm not going to do that for my Surface. That's ridiculous. That's $300 for it. I don't have that. That's what I'm saying. Here, let me show you. Well, I can't show you because it's got my license number on it. Here, I know what I'll do. No, it's all good. I got it. I got it. I got this. I got this. I figure it out. I figure it out. I got it. I got it. This good top. And then I can open it here and go to desktop. It'd be funnier if I had the ability to have like roving, um, roving whatever's. Here, I'll show you. This is what it says on my screen. So it says, I currently do not have a plan because obviously my one time purchase perpetual license, right? And it says use it for an unlimited amount of time on one Windows and Mac OS. Except that that's not what they said whenever I updated it. So I don't want to. I mean, the whole reason I was part of the group that got on them for not allowing or for requiring us to have monthly payments forever and ever and ever, just like Adobe. I am so sick of being nickel and dimed. I mean, like every month, it's what things can we live without because we have to cut all of these things because everybody's taking $5, and $5 doesn't seem like a lot until you have 50 people taking $5. So it becomes one of those things of what can we live without. So there's nothing I can do about this. That seems completely ridiculous. That seems like enough that I may have to go back to version 1. Or maybe just go to Photoshop. I mean, honestly, legitimately, I'm paying $60 a month to have Photoshop. I could do all of this in Photoshop. I don't need to even have Clip Studio Paint. I mean, that's a reality. Clip Studio Paint was supposed to be my Photoshop killer. I wasn't supposed to be paying them money instead of Photoshop. That was the whole point. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's not a whole lot even in the annual. That's not the point that makes me mad. The point that makes me mad is everybody is moving towards just pay us $10 a month. And I don't have it's all of those $10 a months are always coming in when we've paid bills, and it's overdrawing our accounts and things like that. So, it's like we can't do that all the time. Well, I guess I've got another email to write today. So, wow. S8 Plus. Oof.
What's S8 Plus?
I'm not sure. What's S8 Plus, Cat? Merrick, hi. I'm glad to see you. Oh, Samsung tablet. Oh, for the same reason, right? Because you've got two machines. And you don't know what to do about that. Mm. Yeah. How long are they going to be updating their payment system? They've been doing this for a long time. I mean, I get it, but on the same token, it's kind of like, guys. They told, yeah, because we've all got just like a whole bunch. Yeah. It seems like they've got an awful lot of, oh, we fixed everything so that you now have to pay a lot more money to us all the time because we like money. It's like, wait a minute.
whoa. Let's discuss this a moment, guys. We
Right?
like this idea, and you should pay us more.
Right? Right? Looks like some of them are having consecutive payment errors. Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
It's not. I feel like I'm failing. Oh God, I'm being all quiet over here.
Oh, yeah. You know what we
I
can
just
do?
barely started drawing.
We could totally put music in here, which is what
Yeah, I think we need some music
I'm gonna
going.
put some chill music in here.
I'm hearing a cat
What's
in the
up?
background.
What's up? Well, if you want scritches, you have to come here. You can't just stand over there and say scritch me from over there. I'm not doing that. You know better than that. Come here. I mean, I hear you. I see you. But if you want scritches, you have to come here. I'm not doing this game that you want to play of come here and scritch me. And then I will back up 10 feet and say, come here and scritch me.
Just come a little bit closer. You're my kind of cat.
Right?
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
You're so big and so strong.
A week of straight streaming for us. That's because Wednesday I'm not streaming at all. And I don't know where Can stands, but Pepper was saying he's just going to take Wednesday to Wednesday off as a break. Okay. And not only that, I've been looking at my schedule in June. It's ludicrously bizarre. Like my school schedule, I have usually it's a week on, week off. As you guys know, we're coming into, which I probably should prep you with here, Can. You and I will probably be doing our shows normally because I don't have any problem with this, but I can't do the day shows if I'm teaching class. So we'll have to figure out what to do about the day shows. You haven't been on the day shows, and that's fine because you usually have your farm to do. Um, so either we'll have to not do day shows when I'm working, or we'll have to give Pepper the administration controls, or you know what I mean? Like we'll have to figure something out here.
Yeah. Well, we can pause it for June. I mean,
It'll be that way through July and August. I mean, I during the summer I work off and on. Usually my boss likes to do 1 week on, 1 week off. This month's just screwed up. But usually she likes to do 1 week on, 1 week off. But they're short teachers, so I'm worried that it's going to be a problem. So that's just something I wanted to.
I think this is going to be a bizarre panel, but really cool when it's finally finished.
I think so too. Let's see here. It's interesting. Anything about the perpetual plan at all? Perpetual usage plan. There's nothing out there.
Did they pull it?
No, I mean on the FAQ.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is was it there before and now they're just kind of saying, no, we never said that. What are you talking about? That never existed.
Right. No.
Like that bit of corporate gaming the system.
I feel like this is the way it's going, is that they're going to just say, oh, yeah, no, can't do.
Do not look directly at the man behind the
Right.
curtain.
The thing that gets me is, I know that both Kat and I have a big computer and a portable computer, right? So, I'm not alone. I'm pretty sure most of my friends run a similar setup. And so I'm like, there has to be a ton of people who are all like, what are you doing? You know? I mean, their original setup was rigged for, for this. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like, I feel like this is shell gaming. You know what I mean? I feel like they're playing a shell game on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I mean, getting another license perpetual is $219. I mean, I'm not going to shell out $219. If they do that, I'm done with Clip Studio. We're just going to close it down. Because, I mean, going back to one and then having to fight with all of their text problems that they had with with version 1, with text not working properly and not widow orphaning correctly and everything like that, I might as well just use Photoshop. I'm paying $50 a month for Photoshop. I might as well just use it. And then never look back at Clip Studio again. I mean, I can't see, because Photoshop runs on my Surface just fine. And they've already gotten me.
Yeah, but the problem with that also, Guy, is that you do the maquettes.
The maquettes are Daz Studio.
Yeah, but you can import them into CSP.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't use any of them in CSP at all. I was going to. That was my battle plan. I had planned on doing that. But if this is the way we're going to play, then I'm not gonna do that.
You know, I'm starting to look like maybe it was a good thing that I didn't upgrade.
Right?
Like, I was so
Kat and I are having
at the time I couldn't.
Yeah, Kat and I are having so many problems with this. Well, yeah. I mean,
Oh, so I was doing the lawn earlier today,
mm-hmm. Frida. I've
and
heard that one too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was funny. There's people driving past, and they're slowing down, watching me mow the lawn with a little push mower. And I remarked to my mom, husbands, I got in trouble doing the lawn. You know, big, huge area with the little push mower and all that. I
Oh
know
yeah.
I at least pissed off one person because he flipped me off as he drove past.
Why would he flip you off? That's horrible.
Taking away my weekend.
Yeah, actually, I mean, Merrick, I mean, honestly, it might be time for me to just bite the bullet and learn GIMP, right? I mean, just never did. Mostly because for a long time, I had customers and clients who demanded that I give them things in PSDs. So I had to keep Photoshop because it was proprietary, and then they open sourced their PSD stuff, and now everybody uses PSDs. So, you know,
Does
You know,
this look like
I
a
am curious what changed too. Probably have gotten better. It's open source and free. So, but like I said, I can do my comic books completely by themselves. It doesn't have to be. I don't. I don't. I mean, all the stuff the Clip Studio does is really nice, but I don't require it.
towards west?
I am surprised that they don't have like a zillion of these.
How does that? How does this panel read to you?
Like she's taking off her pants. Okay, not as bad anymore now that you've added the rocks. I get that. That's better. I like that. But before I looked up and I was like, is she taking off her pants?
No, she has her hands back.
No, it's fine.
It's the way
It's fine
walks.
now. It's fine now. It was just before you didn't have the rocks whenever I did it before. I like is that a shoe? I always think about people who throw shoes at other people. Like, do they just wander around with one sock at that point? I mean, like, you threw your shoe at them, you know?
That's random stuff that they're throwing at her.
Yeah. Well, one of them looks like a shoe on that bottom left side, which would be funny, because then it makes me think, what's happening with the shoe? You walking around without a shoe?
Yeah, I could make it a sandal. That'd be
Yeah, make it a sandal. That'd be cool.
But like, does it look like she's walking through the middle of a very angry crowd?
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. That's pretty cool. This is like my bitching night. I'm just writing emails to people. I'm griping. I swear. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, you are kind of angry tonight.
I'm a grumpy old man. I'm like, well, this is a big deal for me and it makes me upset. I don't remember things. I can only hold like a certain number of things for, just because of the nature of ADD and stuff like that. If everybody goes to a subscription plan, that's I'm just going to be always overdrawn and never have any money for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Because it'll constantly be pulling little bits of money out of my account all month long, and I'll never know what you know what I mean? I just feel like that's so chaotic and that's exactly what's happened a number of
And And that's exactly what they're counting on.
Yeah, exactly. The model is counting on I will forget it because it's not their problem if I'm overdrawn. It's my problem. And we're back to I feel like you guys have found a clever way to just make it so I can't eat ever again and then die. And you don't care because you get your money. And so it makes me angry. Um, and now we've got this. Oh yeah, well, because they came out with we're just going to a subscription plan. And I'm like, well, that's it. I'm done with you guys. And a lot of people said that. And then they said, oh, okay, well then we'll give you guys a perpetual license version as well. Oh, okay, cool. But now it's like, oh, but we're gonna change the rules, So you have to buy one for each machine. And I'm like, wait a minute. you know. So yeah, I'm grumpy. This and the Google thing makes me mad because the Google thing should have been fixed a decade ago. I had this problem with Google because my sister and I have been using a Google Drive to save all of the family stuff. And it did the same thing on her. But back then, she had a 1 gigabyte storage limit. And so I bought the 1 terabyte Google Drive. And so I was willing to pay for it because it was only $10 a month, and I was okay with that at the time. And she all of a sudden got to the point where her email wouldn't work anymore because I had put too many pictures in the family drive that I owned. And I'm like, how are you doing this? And it had filled up her entire drive with photos of the family because she was connected to my drive. And then it locked her out of her own email. She couldn't get email anymore because her Gmail went down because there was no space left. And I'm like, guys, I have a terabyte.
That sounds to me like it's on purpose to pull money from you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like they want all of us to have 1 terabyte Google Drives and pay $10 a month. And so and I thought, oh, well, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt and saying, okay, but now here we are. It's 10 years later. We've stopped using the Google Drive now for family stuff. And very soon I'm going to clear it and then stop paying them for it too, because they lost my business, but I just never got around to clearing it out. And this is the other problem. I've been paying $10 a month for the last 10 years because I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to spend a couple of hours clearing out my Google Drive, right? So it's like, this is exactly what they're looking for. They want me to do that, But then the NDK decided to get a Google Drive. And I was sure that wouldn't be the problem now, but sure as the world, I got to 30 gigabytes and it locked down my drive and then locked down.
That's the second or third time I've run the washing machine. Okay. So I have been turning it over for you.
Oh, awesome. Because I was like, I looked at it and 20 said, that means it's blank as soon as I left.
Yeah, I've been trying to get it going.
Yeah, so it's about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That dog has 3 heads.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's getting so ridiculous with the online payment structure stuff that I just went through and went, nope, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. This is getting too expensive. I'm out.
Well, and that's my problem is it's like they're getting to the point now where everybody's like, "Oh, you mean we can charge people $10 a month?" And they will. Okay, that's fine. But now we're getting to the point where if you want to have any streaming services or run any software, you pretty much have to pay $5 a month. And when it's only four things, that's not so bad. But we're not at four things anymore. We're at
Well, and the other issue is like with all these streaming services is now they're fighting each other.
right.
And they're not making very much money. They're actually seeing their subscribership go down because there's too many streaming services.
Mm-hmm. They're starting to see us all like bail.
Yeah. They don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, your work blocked it, huh? What did you do? All right. Back to the emails that I was writing. They actually weren't that grumpy. I mean, pretty much saying nothing happened today. I mean, not nothing happened, but nothing major happened at the meeting today. So. The thing that also makes me mad about this Google thing is that I uploaded the archive from the year 2013 for NDK, and it filled up halfway through. So it said, "You ran out of space. Good night, cat. We'll see you tomorrow." Said you've run out of space. So now when I finally figure this out, I'm going to have to go through 2013 and individually upload everything, because of course the way it does it, of course, is not this folder, then this folder, then this folder. It's some items from this folder and little items from that folder, So it's going to be this. I'm going to spend a day re-uploading 2013 again. So,
Yeah.
and it'll have to be manual. And that makes me aggravated too. I'm a grumpy old man tonight.
Yes, you are. You got full on grump going.
I know. Get off my lawn.
I like this page.
Uh-huh. I did you? There we go. We want to take a staff picture every year, but I don't want to herd cats. So we were like, we're just going to pretty much we're going to take a picture of the entire staff on the lawn at X o'clock. If you're not there, you're not in the picture. And then just leave it.
needs to be way there. But at some point, I started to lose my manga style.
Right now, it's looking more like the kind of the classic political cartoon style.
Yeah.
All right, one's out the door.
Sorry, I still have to keep some strangeness in here.
Yep. I actually have a very quiet team, I noticed. On that one, that's kind of cool. All right.
Ah!
Oh, part of the problem is I can't think of how to write this to make it work.
Right, which one?
We have a 5 terabyte Google Drive, and it is erroring out at 30 gigabytes because that's my space. That's my limit. Maybe I'll just write that.
That actually don't even go with anything fancy. That is exactly what is happening. I don't want it to use my space.
Right.
We have space for it. I have such a serious scene. Why am I drawing a guy with a hairstyle that extends 5 feet past his face?
Oh, this might be a problem that's in the user issues. Like,
Oh,
yeah, it might be a limit set by default on the drive. accidentally by Jeremy, which would be funny.
You mean you might get to haul out the ID10T error?
No, I think it by default sets these things to 30 gigabytes per person, and it may not have realized that I can have more than that. I just don't know how to fix this, but I think that might be the thing. That might be what's going on. Or maybe not. Maybe there's no way to change it. Yeah, it says here, your administrator might set a storage limit on shared drives to see the storage limit, if any, and how much storage unit is used. Open the detail tabs in the drive. Let's see if there's a details tab for me here. Drive. Let's see, guys. Settings. Offline sync is disabled by the administrator. So there's things like, there are things set. I can see this. This might be something that he can fix, which is good, because this seems stupid. And also randomly arbitrary. Like 30 gigabytes is not what a standard account has. A standard account has 15. So it's not, this is a different number that it ran into, which is why I'm kind of thinking that maybe it's a setting somewhere. It might be.
I can't do it. I can't do it. The frame is cracking me up too much now. I'm sorry, guy.
What? What are you sorry about?
You're having so many problems.
Oh no, it's fine.
And I'm sitting here busting up laughing because I put a stupid Japanese hairstyle.
That might be a quick fix.
Huh?
This might be a quick fix for Jeremy. There we go. Cool. I might be done with today's work. Let's see. Work. I need to make sure I don't forget stuff for tomorrow. So. Cool. It's kind of sad. I'm in here in my calendar, and my dad's calendar is still running. It's kind of sad. I'm like, "Meh." I wonder how many years after I'm gone will my calendar just continue to remind people of birthdays and Carl Sagan's birthday and the day that we went into space and the first man into space day and all of the things that my calendar reminds me of all the time now. When Star Trek first aired and when Next Gen first aired. Priorities, people.
Yeah, it's kind of strange what we're leaving when.
Yeah. The digital footprint that we leave behind.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't like a normal boomer. He was pretty savvy. and I'm pretty good at, all of those things. So there is a lot of digital footprint left over from my dad. But he also knew he was at the end, so some of the digital footprint is really nicely cleaned up, which is kind of fascinating too. All right. We don't have a lot of time, but I've got some time, and I'm going to at least... That's the other thing I wanted.
So yeah, what I was laughing about is that guy there in the back.
Yeah, I saw him. Oh, come on. I just had... Oh, signs. I have a number of little weird things. You even kind of gave him sort of the same kind of face as the character you're modeling him after. What's his name from whatever that show was? All right.
I think you're thinking of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, one of the characters was like that in Yusuke Hakusho, you're right. But there was another one later, more recently. The red-haired guy, definitely. I'm still in position 7.
Oh my god, somebody made their hairstyle into a tomato. Look at this hairstyle, guy.
I'm not sure what to think about that.
They have tomato hair.
Yep, that is kind of... I mean, I'm kind of actually say it's kind of cute. Merrick was saying, like, I mean, he said this a long time ago. He said it's getting to the point where people find it cheaper and worthwhile to set the cloud drive in your house. So I was thinking too. I'm like, at some point, I might just serve all my programs from here. You know what I mean? And just have it serve the program over the internet, and then just have a dummy terminal that I carry with me.
Yeah. Here's one for you.
Yikes. Yikes. Lots. Yikes.
I gotta save both of these. Put them in my reference folder. And hair. But I mean, like,
Hand hair.
going back to it, it seems like we're in this we're locked in this everybody must be super greedy and willing to screw over their fellow man for the dollar. And we're kind of losing the way, you know?
It, I have a theory that the more squeezed people get, the greedier they get. So when you start seeing greed spread like wildfire, it's not because people just suddenly lost their morals. It's because a lot of our culture has gone suddenly with, oh God, I might not be able to keep my house next month.
Yeah.
And I think that's my ongoing theory, and it holds true. The people around me, all of my friends, they're getting more and more mad when people don't pay them and things like that. And they're starting to put in punitive things. And if you don't pay, I'm charging you a 10%, blah, 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 and this here and that and there. And I realized that when they are more flush and when they have more money and when everything's a little bit better, they tend to forget those things. Oh, yeah, you can't pay me. That's all right. Wait till next week. Wait till next month. Nobody cares once you hit a certain point. But when you're at the low water level and everybody is struggling to just make your rent, then
Yeah.
people tend to get like, no, you have to pay me this, and I'm going to figure out a better way to get more money out of people because this isn't working. And so I think that's what we're seeing. Everybody is hurting because all of our money is going to like 12 people. And nobody else is getting the money. Just these 12 people up at the top are getting all of our money.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening is you're seeing freaked out people doing what freaked out people do, which is give us money. And software, I understand a certain amount of this. How do you pay your software developers when everybody bought the software and you don't have any income this month? I don't blame them for it. But on the same token, I have ADD. I cannot track it. It will ultimately fail on me, and I will end up starving. And I've got a family now. I'm not doing that game. You know what I mean? And I don't like the fact that it's targeting me, And I'm sure nobody thought it intentionally and went, haha, ADDers will be stuck paying us $1 billion. I'm sure what happened was, oh, yeah, if we start a subscription, then we can ensure that we'll have X amount of money every month.
Yeah, and we'll keep our investors happy.
Right. And essentially, it's the same thought process behind Patreon. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there going, hey, the more patrons I have, the more likely it is that all of my bills will get paid. And if all of my bills get paid, then I don't have to worry anymore.
Or worry as much.
Yeah, I mean, the big worries in my life will be I need to write 2 chapters this week or whatever. I'm totally into that plan. That's my life goal right there, is that my biggest worry is how many pages I have to draw this week. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want in life.
So I just ran into a hairstyle called a jellyfish bob cut.
Well, there's that.
Look at that.
Gotta give them props. They're creative.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey Alfie, how you doing? You're coming in like 6 minutes left for us. We're rolling it out, but I have been grumpy all day. I'm like a grumpy old man today. I really am. I'm yelling at people, get off my lawn. That's what I'm doing. Totally what I'm doing. I'll get better. Oh, I a whole bunch of stupid things. I'm having problems with Google and a Google Drive. I'm having problems with Clip Studio Paint and the subscription thing. It's just a whole bunch of grump, 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 grump. Every so often, we all just have a day where we're grumpy, and today is my day to be grumpy. So that's all. I'll be fine. I just need to be grumpy for a minute. It's like, but I'll be okay. Alfie failed history. Alfie, are you neurodivergent? Do you need to be on medication for attention deficit? Or is this something else? Probably. If you're failing everything, do you feel like you have a problem in class because you have to do something, but for some reason you just don't seem to do it? Do you want to do the things and then you don't do it? Because that's a different feeling. Yep. So does Guy. Guy has ADHD too. Except that I'm old now, so there's no H in the anymore. I just have ADD. Mm. I follow that. Kan, are you going to continue doing night streams while I'm gone?
I can.
I
I've
would
got.
like for you to, if you would, please.
We were talking about taking a break during this time, but I can keep them going.
I feel like
Because I got work I
feel
gotta
like
get
we'll lose
done.
people if we take a break. You know what I mean?
Okay, I can keep going. That's not an issue at all, because I got stuff I have to get done. So regardless of if I do it, I'm gonna be working regardless. So
Right. I will be back on the 8th. I'm actually clearing my calendar right now of everything except the flight. But it looks like I arrive here at 10:43 p.m. on Wednesday night, so I can't even really make this. Yeah. Alfie, are you seeing a doctor for your ADD? Kind of. Oh. I'm worried about you, Alfie. But only because I think that you are, that you probably should do some techniques, see a doctor, and stuff like that about ADD. Because it's not going to go away. But there's things you can do about it. You know, I'm taking medication and seeing a therapist for my ADD. And my therapist also has ADD. And so she has been teaching me techniques and things that make me run better. And things like this show, where we all get together and we work together at the same time. This is actually an ADD technique. This is what we do. We work next to each other and then get the work done. Stuff like that. There are ways that you can beat your ADD. It just, you have to know them. And I'll talk to you about them if you want. I'll tell you all the ones I can think of. Maybe you can use them. Con. Friday all day. June 9th through June 11th. Ugh. It's a big. So there's much we can do. The good news is, Alpha, you're not alone. There's a whole mess of us who've got these. So you can join us, and it's very important to not be alone. It's important. It's hard when you're alone on something. Oh, I can morning stream again. I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, uh, okay, so I'll be back on morning stream for the 8th, and then I can't on the 9th because that's Iacon. And then see you later, Merrick. And then the 10th and the 11th are Iacon, so I can do night stream on the 11th. And then 12th, I'm teaching in class in at school, so I'll be in class on the classroom teaching on the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. Then I can return to the day stream on the 16th. Then the 17th, I'm teaching. I'm not teaching on the 18th, but that's a Sunday. The 19th, I'm not teaching. 20th, I'm not teaching, so we can do this week. Well, no. Then I've got one lone class. I think that's just a teacher. Yeah, Alfie, I'm flying out to Oregon, which is another state. So it's too far to drive, really. It's like a 3-day drive, and I don't want to drive it. So we're flying it instead. So we'll be flying out to Oregon. It's easier. When I go to Texas, they're great. Someday remind me, and I will happily tell you how airplanes work. I love airplanes. They're my favorite things. How about this like weird class that starts on a Saturday? 1, 2, and then 3, 4 is a Sunday. 5, 6 is a Monday. It's just so strange. Airplanes are small, or Alfie is small? Alfie, don't do that to yourself. Feeling make it to the July 1st? Oh, man. This month's going to be brutal, man. This month is going to be brutal. Airplanes are small. Airplanes actually, that's something I keep telling people all the time. The thing about jet airplanes is that the engines are really simple. The engines are essentially an oven. That's all those engines are. They're big ovens. And the ovens heat up the air, and the air, when it gets hot, expands. And so it goes out the back of the oven, right? And that's how a jet airplane works. A long time ago, we used to have motors in it that were like our cars, internal combustion engines, ICEs. Those have a lot of points of failure. There's a lot of places where those engines can break. Jets don't have a lot of places where they can break. So though you keep watching shows about airplane crashes, you have to remember that in every day, in any given day, there's almost 1 million airplanes flying every day in the world. And we have one crash a year. That's 365 million flights where you get one crash. So the chances are really, really... Oh, Alfie's got a problem with claustrophobia. Oh, I love airplanes. I love airplanes so much, though. They are beautiful machines. They are very beautiful machines.
I'm sorry, I'm running us late. I'm trying to get this one
That's
side
fine.
done.
It is totally fine, man. I'm enjoying talking to Alfie. I don't get to talk to Alfie very much because we usually cut the stream and people. I'm enjoying chatting with Alfie and looking at my calendar. And, that's the thing. After 10 occurrences. There we go. There's people on a plane. If you watch some movies, there are snakes on a plane. And usually that also means that you have Samuel L. Jackson on the plane. And he's grumpy because of the snakes on the plane.
And that's more frightening. Now,
Yeah, I know. But snakes are amazing. I know, Alfie. There's not a whole lot we can do. It's 12:10 a.m. now, so already 10 minutes into tomorrow for us. And I'm going through and just making sure I've got everything squared away because tomorrow morning should be Springs Monday.
which you haven't done anything for.
Oh, I'll come up with something tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to gripe about passwords tomorrow. I had to change my password at the DMV, and they've changed all the requirements now, and we now have it has to be 14 characters long, have a special character, and I have to change it monthly, and it cannot be any of the previous passwords. And somehow I'm supposed to not write this down. I know it's tough, but I'm glad you stay with us for when you can, Alfie.
They do know we're human beings, right?
I'm like, this is worse than my bank password. So I think tomorrow that's what my Springs comic is going to be. But looking at the schedule, tomorrow is the last one I will do for May, and then I won't be able to do a May Springs comic until the 19th.
Well, you're screwed then, because you can't do a May Springs comic until June.
Not sure if that joke landed like you wanted it to.
I
That guy
know
looks
it, because of what you just said.
Oh,
You literally just said I can't do a May Springs comic until June the 19th.
oh, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I can't do another one until the 19th.
Yeah.
And then there's no, I mean, in fact, looks like there will only be one Springs comic in all of June because I will be busy on the 5th, the 12th, and the 26th.
So do a Springs comic during the week. That way you don't miss them.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that I'll have to think about it. This is the first time I have made this realization. So I just made this realization right now. So I'm kind of doing the maybe. What am I gonna do? Sort of thing. So who knows? Passwords are a struggle. You're not wrong, Alfie. You're not wrong. I hope my wife is having a great time.
Yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job this evening.
Yep. I like the guy down there on the bottom right that's actually eating the panel.
Yeah, this guy down here.
Yep. Alfie has wives. I think that's a little weird out there. Alfie. You're a little strange out there, dude. All right.
That moment when you're looking at a panel and you're going, am I just like subconsciously like verbalizing something to myself? Is this me trying to work out a problem?
Right. I'm not actually worried, Alfie. I think you are pretty much doing the same thing that I do with my friends, which is just simply say that we're all family. Everybody needs to
This
know.
is so. I didn't mean for this when I drew this. I bet you. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I need to look at something.
Mm.
Because I might have created an interesting point back to a previous comic. I3.
Mm.
Nope. Maybe I2.
somebody's using AI art to make. Where's the beard? Oh, Alfie's now just realizing that you are a naked face.
Yeah, a couple of things happened with that, and actually, uh, I've had a few realizations because of that. So I got cleaned up because I'm trying to get a job. So I got rid of the depression beard. But I noticed that when I shaved that beard off, all of my allergies stopped. So there was something in there.
It was catching all of it.
Yeah. I think I'm really, really allergic to the hay.
And you're picking up all the hay in your beard.
Yeah, or at least particles of it, and it keeps it near my face.
Where are you on your page?
I'm almost done.
Oh, okay. I'll keep holding for a few more minutes. Maya's out for the night dancing, so I can actually hold for a little while longer, but I'm going to go to bed before she gets home.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm staying up until 2. But I do worry about her. All the bars close at 2, and she'll be out on the road with all of those guys. And that, yeah. My wife. My wife's dancing. She's dancing silly. She likes to dance. So that's a thing she does. I don't like to dance as much. So, and it's mostly because actually I don't mind the dancing part. I can't, it's too loud and I can't hear anything. There's so much noise that I can't hear anything. It's like, yeah, might as well just write me off as deaf. The moment I walk into a club, I'm lost. I can't hear the music. I can't understand the music. I can't hear anybody talking to me. So it's just like from the moment I walk in until the moment I leave, I'm just deaf. You know. So I don't enjoy going to the dancing places. I can't dance. I mean, I can feel the beat. So at least I could dance to the beat, but still, it's like, oh, it's just so brutal.
So in issue 3, I have this bit of dialogue from. So, Mammy has been. She's asked a couple of times about Briggs' scars. And Briggs been kind of ducking the question.
Right.
Not because it's censored.
Right.
You know, they're not classified, but she doesn't talk about them.
Right.
And so I have a line in there. He goes, she goes, start asking me things I can answer. And Mammy goes, then how did you get all those scars? Most people would be dead many times over just from one of them. And Brig responds, I don't know why I'm alive.
Mm.
And she goes, are you dodging my question? He goes, no, I'm not. I truly don't know. Because I shouldn't be alive. I've thrown myself in harm's way so many times, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And here she is in this page. Mammy goes, Brig, I'm scared. And Brig is literally shielding Mammy with her body.
Right.
And she goes, I know, let me shield you from them. Like, that is... Like, I like that little bit of characterization that she's talking about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But then she actually does it in this sequence.
Yeah, Alfie, that's actually one of the reasons why I said if you think you have ADD, that's probably a good sign of it. One of the things about ADD is that we don't have a good auditory processing system in our brain. The auditory processing system is the part of your brain which understands sound and translates it to things that you can understand in your head. That's why you probably have great hearing. You can probably hear people talking across the room, but when you're in big parties like that, it all goes away because that's the center that usually in people who don't have ADD, that part of your brain takes all those noises and separates them out and gives the brain pieces of information so you can understand what's going on. But with us, that part doesn't work. So we just get all of the information as one big pipe and we're lost. I have the same problem on the convention floor, which Kayan knows because there have been a number of times he said something to me and I went, what? And he's like 2 feet from me and somehow I can't hear him. He is right there. I don't have a hearing problem. I have a processing problem. It's the data coming in. I hear all the people talking around me at the same level, and it's all at once, and it's very overwhelming. It also probably makes you very tired. It makes me very tired. If I have to deal with too many people all at once, I'm very, very tired.
Yeah, and Alfie, I have the opposite problem. I can parse everything, which is also not good. Like, you would think that on the other side of the coin, being able to take in all of that information is a good thing, and it's not. Guy has seen that with me where I'm listening to about 6 conversations at once and I have trouble interacting because of it.
And Alfie, autism and ADD are pretty similar. ADD is pretty much like autistic people have the same problems as ADDers do. And so there are a number of people who think it's the same problem. Some of it's just that ADD is a lighter version of it. But it's the same thing. ADDers have the same problems as autistic people, where like smells and touch and taste are often either irritating or comforting or all of the things that happens with me. I mean, we talk about my infamous blue, the perfect blue, because my grandmother had a fabric shop and she had a fabric called Ultra Suede, which is very soft. And when I was overwhelmed, I would hide underneath the tables, which had all the fabric bolts on them. And I think I was holding on to the Ultra Suede that was blue, because now it's when I see that, and my dad happened to save some of it. And so now I have some of that from that fabric bolt. And it's super comforting to me. It makes me feel very comfortable. And it's, ADDers will stim. We do the same thing as autistic people where we stim, sometimes with our legs and sometimes, and we fidget and we do things like that. So there's a lot of things that are in common. So there are some people who believe that ADDers are sort of like autistic light. We're not autistic, but we're closing in on the spectrum. We're close. That's why they call them all spectrum, autistic spectrum disorder, because they're thinking that autism and Asperger's disease and attention deficit disorder are all on this range. Yeah. One of the drawbacks of being on the spectrum is we don't seem to understand all the rules of society. And so we do a thing called masking, which is where we build a program essentially on how to interface with people. And we have to do that because we don't operate well on our own. So instead, what we do is we build a program, which may be why Alfie speaks about Alfie in the third person, because it's a mask. I have many masks. Depends on the situation. Depends on where we are and what we need to do.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot of mental disorders that we really haven't started trying to assess very well.
Mm-hmm.
And we treat it like it's some sort of like broken limb, and it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some parts of ADD will never go away. We are just who we are, and you have to learn to interface properly. And what you will do, Alfie, is you will build a mask. I mean, normal people build masks all the time. They just don't do it in the same way. For example, I'm an older guy. I'm what we call Gen X. And I'm still not quite sure I understand all of the pronouns that people use now. And there's a lot of pronouns. But it's okay. I will build a mask and then I will use the correct pronouns. And it will work just fine. I just need to figure out how to do it. And some of it is a little complicated to me. And it's a little difficult because I'm not used to that. But I'll figure it out. It's not any different than calling can.
Yeah.
It's all good, Alfie. I figure we'll just work with you the way you want to be worked with, however that is. And I might make mistakes. You'll live with it, and I'll try to be as good as I possibly can, and try not to make as many mistakes. But I think you know that I mean well, so you won't feel too bad, I guess.
But, we all have things that we're fighting through.
Yep.
Um, on my side, I feel like an outsider looking in on society. Like, I've never really felt like I've belonged, ever. Um, and that's very, very difficult to verbalize, and it makes it very difficult to interact with the world around you, because I am terrified of people.
Yeah.
And particularly after COVID, that became much, much stronger. And I have to force myself to interact with people, otherwise I become a hermit. I find people to be very scary to me, because I don't know how to deal with them. And it's just the way things are. So, yeah, when we're here on the show, it's we both understand maybe not your full situation of what you're going through, but we do understand that, you might have issues here and there. We totally understand that, because we both fight it. Like, Guy and I have known each other a long time at this point, and he knows the struggle I go to when I force myself to go to a con.
Yep.
Particularly after my last bout with COVID, I am just now getting my sense of taste back. And it's been almost a year since I caught it. Last time, the second round. And it scares me.
It's terrifying.
I almost died the first round. So it makes having to deal with people that much more scary. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing this panel the way it is I think it's a little bit of my subconscious playing in of how scared I am of crowds. So, we understand. Don't think
We're
we
with
don't.
you. You're not by yourself.
Yeah. Anyways, we should get going, because I turn into a pumpkin after midnight, and I have to get up in the morning. So.
Yum. I do too. Alfie, I hope you have a good day, my friend. We will see you again tomorrow. And I feel for your situation, and I've been there. So, have a good day. And Merrick, if you're still out there, I hope you're still out there. If you are, good to see you today as well. Kat was here for a while. Kat went to sleep and stuff like that. So we had quite a few people here. It was a very good show. And I will see you all on the morrow. And as always, remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.
Bye.